Hi everyone. Happy Friday. Flirty Friday, that is. I'm Susanna Matthews, known as the Date Maven, and we're starting something new here. Welcome to the first ever Facebook Live, it's sort of a talk show, and I'm entitling it Flirty Fridays, and we'll be doing it every Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. So my expectation is that today there probably won't be a whole lot of people watching because they don't know yet. That's okay. If you are watching and you have a question, the format is that each week I'll be visiting a local business and featuring a local business owner. And then I will take some questions that people have sent in either via email to Susanna@thedatemaven.com or that people have submitted. You can't see the beautiful Chrissy Buck who's behind the camera here, but she is the producer of this show and my social media mistress. And so she will be fielding those questions or passing them along to me. So if you're watching on one Friday and you have a question you want me to answer the following Friday, that's the best way to get it to us. So here's something I believe. I kind of hate it when people do Facebook Live shows and they just yammer on and on the first 2 or 3 or 4 minutes because they're trying to wait for their audience to arrive. I usually jump off because I don't have the attention span for that. I have shiny object syndrome. Squirrel. So I'm not going to yammer on and on and on and try to fill time. I'm going to dive right in right now. So I want to introduce to all of you the beautiful Lauren Mercado, who has opened a boutique in downtown Wichita, which I think you're one of Wichita's best kept secrets right now. We're about to change that.
Okay.
And it's called Handpicked Los Angeles. And so naturally I'm very curious. Tell me a little bit about your passion for fashion and how you got into this business, and what is it about Southern California fashions in particular that speak to you?
Well, I've just always worked in fashion. Even I guess before I was working, just dressing friends and that sort of thing. They always asked for my advice, and I didn't really know that could be a career path when I was growing up because I grew up in Kansas, and that's the number one thing everyone says, is that we don't have fashion here. So I just decided I would study and I would go somewhere else, like California, where that's where fashion is. So I'd go there and learn, and then about 3 years ago, I decided I'd bring that back home. And yeah, I don't know.
So you're a Wichita native?
I'm a Wichita native,
okay.
yeah. And so I moved and I worked in corporate fashion. I went to fashion school, worked in corporate fashion, and did a lot of styling for various stores and that sort of thing. So
yeah, and we've talked a little bit. So occasionally when I'm working with my either male or female clients, they will have questions about what to wear on a first date or how to kind of make the shift from their daytime corporate look to a more flirty, date-appropriate look. They may not have time to run home and get changed and do all that. So I'm going to have an extra resource now to help style my clients. I've always kind of offered a little bit of image consulting, but I never really hung out the shingle that I'm an image consultant because I'm not. So now I have Lauren in my tribe to sort of help supplement what we've been doing. And so if you've been thinking about that, I do want to recommend that. Now, tell me a little bit about your ideal client here. Like, who shops in your store? Who comes in and who are you helping?
I would say my ideal client would be someone that's fashion conscious. They follow trends. They see things online or maybe Instagram or whatever it is, and they want to try those styles, but they feel like there's nowhere really to shop for them here. I think we have a lot of great boutiques, not as many as other towns though. So I would say that my clothing is different. Everything, number one thing my clients tell me is they'll be like, I wore this out and I got so many compliments on it, and it's because it's super unique and no one's seen that piece before, so you automatically stand out in that piece, and I help you find the right piece that's right for you. And yeah,
I value that a lot. When I go to something, I don't ever want to be wearing something that some other woman is wearing.
Right.
I don't want to see my twin in the room, and I'm also that person that I kind of thrive on that novelty of, oh, where'd you get that?
Yes.
And I like it when people inquire about what I'm wearing.
Especially when you're on a date, I feel like there's nothing better than when someone walks up to you when you're on a date and they're like, you look amazing, and they walk off and you're like, hope you heard that.
Sitting a little taller, like my stock just went up.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of, play along with me here. If I had a great date lined up for this evening, what would you put me in? What would you style me with?
Well, since it's about 90 something degrees outside,
yeah, it's hot.
honestly, like, this is something that I love, the cut of this jumpsuit, because it's long, so you're not showing too much skin, and it has the nice little cut, so when you walk, your leg shows.
Is that kind of a vent on the side? Is that what you would call
It's a
that,
little
or?
vent on the
Okay.
side, and then you have a vent in the back too.
Oh,
it's
Yes.
backless, but you could put like a tank top underneath it, or like just a nice bralette that everyone owns, to kind of cover up the back a little bit. But it doesn't have to be this type of cut. But I think a maxi dress is like the #1 thing to have here in town.
But I like that because sometimes with a maxi dress, even I feel too hot, or I don't like my legs kind of sticking together when it's hot and sweaty out and humid. And so then
This is a jumpsuit.
that's
so
a jumpsuit, yeah. And I love the pattern of this. That's a really beautiful,
Very flirty.
yeah, very feminine. So flirty, perfect for Flirty Friday. I might be wearing that out of the store. What else do you have there?
Here I have this skirt. Has been popular with every single age group, and it makes me really happy. But it's really fun, little skirt that zips up, and then with this really light top. So even though it's warm out, you won't be too hot in this. It's super lightweight, and the ruffles are really.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, people like zippers. Like zippers are, it's a little suggestive. I'm not gonna lie. It just kind of has a hint of sexy to it, but it still looks classy because that's the right balance we're trying to strike. Is something that's feminine and flirty and sexy, but still, you know, not too far across that line and
that's
still
a
classy.
good point.
So, all right. Well, anything else people want to know? Like, how can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Probably would be the best, and it's just shop HPLA. And there you can DM me. I do closet editing too, so I'll come in and kind of spruce up your closet and find some things in there that you might not know how to style. We'll figure out a way to style them for you, and I make lookbooks for your stuff. I mean, I do a lot of. I do a lot.
She's very creative. I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you so much for being on my first show.
Of course.
The first Flirty Friday. Appreciate it. And I'll let you get back to work.
Okay.
So yeah, now guys, if you were like jumping off because you were like, I don't need to know anything about fashion, you can jump back on now. I am going to talk a little bit about dating today. And P.S., if you or someone you know has a really great store that is sort of like-minded to what I do, as far as you just think, hey, their values would align or their brands would align, or I bet they already know each other, you might just reach out to me or have them reach out to me. We'll be looking for specialty wine bars, coffee shops, just, you know, sort of those hidden gems that are here in Wichita, Kansas. And we'll be featuring those every single week because all ships must rise. All right, so when I was thinking about what to really talk about in terms of dating today, I was in another Facebook group, not my Wichita Singles Mingle group, but a different one. And someone had asked for a friend about dating apps. And the friend had had some bad experiences with online dating. And so they were thinking about maybe giving some of the dating apps a try. And my response to that was absolutely. They're just, it's kind of a must-have tool. And even if you've had, all right, I'm getting tongue-tied now. Even if you've had a negative experience in the past with online dating, I would encourage you to throw your hat in the ring again and give it another try. And here's why. There are always new sites and new apps that are emerging every month, every quarter, every year, really. And so if there's something new that's come onto the scene, you may want to give that a try. The other thing I would say to you is anytime you try something one time, don't make a final judgment about it based on that one time. I'll give you an example. Like there's this seminar that I've been going to, and I went to it last week and I thought, well, you know, I really kind of already know the stuff that the instructor talked about. But then I realized maybe not everyone else on the seminar had done the reading I had done or had the experiences I had had, and so maybe I was a little bit ahead of the curve, but keep going and see what it's about. So I went back this week. I'm going to go back next week. And I find that this is especially true in our little city. And for those of you who are living and working in Wichita, Kansas, and you have said to me or you've said to your friends, dating here sucks, it's really, really difficult, you especially need to heed this advice. So if you go to an event one time and you're like, I don't know, there wasn't anyone there for me, keep going. Go again, try it another time, give it another chance. Don't make knee-jerk judgments based on one experience with something. So that's what I would say to your experience with online dating as well. I wanted to talk about one specific site, and that's OkCupid. Now, there are many, each site has its own benefits, its own advantages, and its own disadvantages. But the reason I want to talk about OKC right now is because they have made some changes recently that could affect you and could influence your decision about whether to get back on if you tried it in the past. And one of those changes is that they did away with the direct messaging. Most likely because I would guess a lot of female users have bad experiences with the whole direct messaging feature. Here's what usually happens. I'm sure there are many amazing men doing what they need to do, putting up good pictures, sending out good messages that are polite and respectful and charming and engaging. But it only takes a few bad apples to spoil the barrel, right? So those few guys who are sending creepy messages or confusing messages or who are being a little too sexually aggressive too soon, those are your bad apples, and that kind of behavior will quickly drive women off of the site. Well, now if you're a business and your business is running a dating site, you know you need women and you need men. You need everyone there. And if you're losing women, you're losing revenue. And if you're losing women, then you're losing men. Like there's this domino effect. So OkCupid probably had a little bit of a what I call come to Jesus moment, which is, what do we need to do to retain these women and make their experience better? And the answer was, get rid of open messaging. So that means that, guys, you can't just sit back and wait for her to notice you or to message you. You need to be active and be engaged. The downside is it could potentially make some of the women you're interested in a little harder to get to. So you just gotta step up your game and make your collateral as strong as it can be. Now you may be thinking to yourself, she just used a marketing word to talk about online dating. That's right, I did. Because when I'm working with my clients, what we're really working on is a marketing and personal branding project. Your online profile is your representation of your personal brand, and I'm gonna help you step into the dating market in the most effective way that you can. So again, guys, passivity is not going to be rewarded, but also neither is hyper-aggressive behavior. You can't just put up kind of a half-baked profile and expect women to pay attention to that. Men and women, to both of you, I would say stay focused, stay engaged in the project. I hear from a lot of my clients like, oh, my girlfriend took a look at my profile. All right, that's great. Is your girlfriend the one who wants to date you? She's not? You want to date men instead? Okay, well then you need to also have a guy friend take a look at your profile. Don't just have someone who is of your gender. I'm kind of speaking to a heterosexual crowd right now, admittedly, and that's not to be exclusionary. I just have to give you examples. I have to give you illustrations. Have someone who is of the sex that you're attracted to also look at your profile. So here's something else that OkCupid is going to do. If you're out there and you're liking things that other people have uploaded and you are engaging, their algorithms are going to reward you for your engagement. So again, don't just kind of sit back and go, oh, I wonder if anyone's going to notice me. You want to be engaged because OkCupid is paying attention to that, and they're going to push you to more people. You'll be more visible to more people as you do those likes. So that is the main piece of information I wanted to share with you today. Now, if we didn't already tell you, I will be sort of picking and choosing the best questions I get each week. I probably won't be able to address dozens of questions on a weekly basis, but if you send your question to me either through Facebook Messenger, which means it will be received by my social media chick, or if you send it to me via email, Susanna, SUZANNA, @thedatemaven.com, we will select the questions that we think the greatest number of people can benefit from hearing about. So if we don't select yours, I don't want you to have hurt feelings or think that, oh, we're ignoring you, or or that it's not important. It probably is, but again, we're just kind of trying to touch the most people that we can and support the most people that we can. I do want to put in shine a quick spotlight on the fact that there is a social event coming up. Each month I usually host a singles mingle with the great folks over at Aloft, and this month we're doing it just a little bit differently. It's a Sunday fun day, so it's come and go. It starts at 10 a.m. out by the pool at Aloft Hotel at K96 in Oliver. It winds up around 2, and you can drop in, drop out, get some drinks from the bar, work on your suntan. I am also exploring the idea of doing a focus group for my 20-somethings. I've done this before for my 40-somethings. I really need to spend some time and attention with my 20-somethings because they have, if you're a 20-something, you have different unique dating challenges. As one of my 20-something friends said to me today, how? I just thought it was kind of adorable how she asked that. So male, female, attached, bring your girlfriend or boyfriend, bring your significant other. Unattached, bring yourself. And we'll be sitting around the table and just kind of opening up the hood on the car, so to speak, and allowing men and women to talk to each other about what are the blind spots and the problem spots with dating in your 20s. And you just might make some new friends, meet a new wingman or wingwoman, and we can chat as well. So if you forget what I just said, or you forget about this, then probably the best way to stay reminded and stay in the know is to be paying attention to the Facebook page, thedatemaven.com, or even better, join my blog feed. And if you go to www.thedatemaven.com, you'll find a way to sign up for the blog feed there, and that way the stuff is pushed out towards you. All right, I'm gonna work on my over gesturing because I realize that I am a super hyper gesture, and that's probably a little crazy if you're watching. Thank you so much for joining me for my first Flirty Friday. I can't wait to slip into that. Have a wonderful weekend, and until next time, mwah.